This is where I get emotional. I look at it as every suicide we prevent, that's 25 people that are not left behind as survivors. That's 25 people not left sitting behind saying what happened, or those feelings of guilt and pain at that loss. When you look at suicide in the northern half of the state, we're much more rural, which means there are less services. The more rural the area, like here, Wausau, we've got lots of services and we've got a lot. But when you get into the outlying areas and go farther north where things are more sparse, getting to services is extremely difficult. Well, when it comes to the means, definitely in rural Wisconsin, the highest method of suicide is guns or firearms, mainly because they're very prevalent here. Many people hunt. I am totally for having guns. What I am for mainly is keeping them safe. We have guns in our house, but they're locked up and they're kept safe. Most of our friends have guns because of hunting, and they keep them safe. I've got friends who own handguns. They like to shoot sport, things like that. They keep them locked up and keep them safe. I am definitely not anti-gun. I admire guns. My father has antique guns that I love to look at, and I even love to shoot once in a while. Now, if I'm talking to a friend of mine that is absolutely anti-gun, I can say, I will personally say I understand, because I do understand, and I do try to understand their reasoning and things like that. But again, at the same time, I'll say, please understand where others are coming from too. They enjoy hunting. They enjoy the sport of it. One of the things I've heard most often from anybody I've talked to is like, nobody gives a rat's backside if I'm here or not. And it's like, well, wait a minute. I'm here. I'm listening. I'm talking to you. And give me 5 seconds, I can name 15 other people. But giving a person, people say they want to die, but we can give them permission to live. And if we don't say anything, we're giving them permission to die. By not saying anything, we're giving them that permission to go ahead and complete that suicide or die by suicide. But by listening to them and talking to them and being there for them, we can say, you know what, I want you to live. I want you to be here, and we can do this together. We're a team. My husband and I had someone that we were close to who their spouse was going through a very rough time with some depression and things like that, and was aware of it and was getting some help, but still going through a rough patch. And that evening that we were there, they got a phone call saying that their ex-spouse had passed away, and by suicide. And that really just brought everything, and this person was quite upset and very, what's the best way to put it? It just very, almost out of control, just sobbing and having a very hard time with it. And so my husband and I were there most of the night with the couple, and before we left early that morning, we made sure we took all the guns with us, so we could put them in our gun safe and kept them for a couple of months. And it was just kind of like a natural progression. November came along, it was time for deer season, and they took the guns for hunting. But everybody was, on a pretty even keel then, and everybody, the family and everyone felt comfortable and safe doing that. For every person that we help, the world's a better place. I guess that's where I find the hope. If we were able to reach anybody, even one person in an audience of 10 or 20 or even 100, if we reach one person, that they get help or they get someone they love help, it was worth my time and effort. And that's what I look forward to.